He just looked so sinister, as if he were possessed. He just looked evil.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the 10 most evil Americans in history.
It's not the nature of man to do the things that he did.
For this list, we'll be looking at infamous Americans who are remembered for committing despicable acts. Which of these shocks you the most? Let us know in the comments. Ted Kaczynski. As a young man, Kaczynski was a mathematics prodigy. At Harvard University, he underwent psychological experimentation designed to abuse and humiliate its subject, which may have been part of the CIA's mind control program, MKUltra. He began a promising career at UC Berkeley, then suddenly resigned and retreated to the wilderness, determined to fight industrialization and the destruction of nature.
He bought an acre and a half of land in a rural area just outside of Lincoln, Montana, 6,000 feet above the society he had come to despise.
Between 1978 and 1995, he mailed or delivered explosives to targets at tertiary institutions and aviation companies across the country, killing 3 people and injuring 23.
Over the years, he becomes the nation's most elusive serial murderer, avoiding detection by launching each attack in the same modest way.
The FBI dubbed him the University and Airline Bomber, leading to the nickname the Unabomber. A manhunt finally caught Kaczynski in 1996, after which he was given 8 life sentences.
Ted Kaczynski is currently incarcerated at the Supermax facility in Fremont County, Colorado.
Richard Ramirez. Also known as the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez was a serial killer who operated in California from April 1984 to August 1985. A frequent drug user, Ramirez initially began stealing to fund his addiction before devolving into much worse. He carried out a number of home invasions, assaults, and murders, with a victim count of over 15.
The dreadful and indiscriminate crimes caused a wave of fear.
Everybody was scared. Everybody in the county of Los Angeles and Southern California was scared to death.
His interest in the occult provided a twisted trademark to his crimes, as he would order his victims to profess love for Satan or swear on Satan that they weren't hiding any more valuables.
25-year-old Ramirez had begun worshipping Satan in his late teens and would often leave pentagrams at the scene of his crimes.
The killing spree led to an extensive list of convictions, including 13 counts of murder and 11 assaults. Ramirez died awaiting execution from complications due to lymphoma.
How do you feel? That's always went with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein was the king of Hollywood, a mogul with 81 Oscars to his name.
After co-founding the film production company Miramax in 1979, Harvey Weinstein's influence in Hollywood grew steadily. While he was known for his violent outbursts, his inappropriate behavior with women did not become public knowledge for many years. That is, until October 2017, when the New York Times and the New Yorker detailed multiple accusations of harassment and sexual assault. Subsequently, many other women in Hollywood also bravely came forward.
Now to those explosive new allegations about Harvey Weinstein. Stars like Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie coming forward saying they also received unwanted sexual advances from the movie mogul.
Some recounted Weinstein coercing them into illicit acts and threatening to end their careers if they spoke out. In 2018, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison.
The former movie mogul appearing stunned by the verdict as he was lifted out of his seat and taken to jail.
Outrage over his abuses helped spark the #MeToo movement.
We're at a historic tipping point for women. In October 2017, the #MeToo spread across the globe.
Joseph James D'Angelo.
He was like a Hannibal Lecter, highly intelligent, highly sadistic, master manipulator.
Better known as the Golden State Killer, D'Angelo's reign of terror started in the early 1970s, while he was a police officer in Exeter, California. Although he began with burglaries and thefts, D'Angelo eventually advanced into more serious crimes, including kidnapping, sexual assault, and murders.
And each new assault led to ever-increasing fear in thousands of family homes.
His terrifying methods involved stalking his intended victims, then breaking into their homes. For decades, the feared killer evaded capture, until 2018 when advancements in genealogical DNA testing led investigators to him.
Police say the 72-year-old appeared surprised when they swarmed his home Tuesday evening. No incident? He didn't say it wasn't me or anything like that?
No, really no conversation at all.
D'Angelo eventually pleaded guilty to 13 murders, among his additional crimes which earned him multiple consecutive life sentences. Ed Gein. Although Ed Gein's criminal activities were restricted to his home state of Wisconsin, they nonetheless made him one of the most notorious figures in the entire country. Gein was mostly infamous for stealing bodies from graves and keeping parts of them in his home as souvenirs.
The house became unimaginably filthy with layer upon layer of waste, slop, and unidentifiable clutter.
While searching his property for missing hardware store owner Bernice Warden, police found Gein's disturbing collection, including clothing and other items fashioned from cadavers.
They found all types of things that belonged to people that were no longer people.
The Butcher of Plainfield, as he was called, eventually admitted to 2 murders, but was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
There's no way in the world that anyone could ever decipher completely or even intelligently what Ed was thinking or doing.
His disturbing methods served as the basis for many fictional characters such as Norman Bates in Psycho and Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Jeffrey Epstein. Celebrity financier Jeffrey Epstein's dealings earned him a lavish lifestyle and close ties to many high-profile individuals. In 2008, Epstein was sentenced to 18 months in prison for charges on prostitution.
They basically turned victims into prostitutes. These were girls with absolutely no history and no past. To brand them that in a plea with him was just, for lack of a better term, disgusting.
After his release, however, he continued to engage in similar crimes. Together with associate Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein trafficked underage victims, many of whom were taken to parties at his private Caribbean island.
By most accounts, their boyfriend and girlfriend, I mean, I use that term pretty loosely because certainly they had a very open relationship.
Arrested in 2019 on trafficking charges, Epstein was awaiting trial when he was found unresponsive in his jail cell and later pronounced dead. The circumstances surrounding his death generated controversy and were hotly debated, although reports ruled that he ended his own life.
I'm sure many people wanted him dead. He had a lot of information on a lot of people, a lot of blackmail, videos and pictures.
Charles Manson.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. The horrific crimes of the Manson family brought about a destructive end to the 1960s. While struggling to make it as a musician, Manson accumulated a group of younger followers who became part of his infamous family.
The whole idea was to let time disappear. There was no time. We were all living now. Now was the only time.
Manson developed a doomsday theory that involved a supposed apocalyptic race war, fueled by his interpretation of the Beatles' song Helter Skelter.
One of the things that apparently he was trying to do was hide out on the desert with his clan. And when the race war was over, everything would be fine for him and his family to come back in, essentially, and take over.
His cult murdered people in homes around Los Angeles, most notably Hollywood actress Sharon Tate. The gruesome crimes shocked the nation, and after a tumultuous court trial, Manson was put behind bars for good. The cult leader died on November 19, 2017.
He leaves behind a legacy of depraved murder.
Samuel Little.
You're sitting with evil in its purest form, but he came off like a grandfather.
He may not be a household name, but he's considered by the FBI to be the most prolific serial killer in American history.
Convicted murderer Samuel Little spent his youth in and out of trouble for various offenses, but it's believed that on January 31st, 1970, Little killed his first victim, Mary Brosley.
He's had more confirmed victims, 60, than anyone else, and he confessed to murdering 93. Little's activities spanned over 3 decades across multiple states, leading to him being arrested in at least 11 of them throughout his lifetime.
Where did you kill the most?
Oh, that's easy. Florida and California.
Little was convicted in 1984 of attempting to kill 2 women. He was put in prison for 2.5 years, but returned to his murderous lifestyle once released. It wasn't until 2012 when Little was arrested again that he was linked to several killings and sent to prison for the remainder of his life.
Talking with Samuel Little was chilling. He is a true monster in every sense of the word. He is every female's worst nightmare.
Nathan Bedford Forrest, one of the most heinous figures in 19th century America. Nathan Bedford Forrest represents one of the country's darkest chapters. His service as a Confederate general alone is highly controversial, to say nothing of the fact that he was a known slave trader. During the American Civil War, Forrest played a significant role in the Fort Pillow massacre, which saw a group of mostly black Union soldiers killed after surrendering. Forrest's radical leanings later led to his association with the Ku Klux Klan. As the far-right terrorist group's first Grand Wizard, Forrest's influence helped spread a wave of racist violence through Reconstruction-era America. Despite his clear offenses, some of Forrest's supporters still seek to put a positive spin on his legacy. In Tennessee, July 13th remains Nathan Bedford Forrest Day.
All people are not 100% good or 100% bad. He's a complex character.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Jim Jones. As the leader of the People's Temple, Jim Jones was responsible for one of the worst mass deaths in U.S. history.
His followers call him Father and obey his orders without question.
While his religious movement preached the wonders of an equal society, there was something much more sinister lurking underneath. Following a series of controversies and negative press, the cult leader moved his congregation to Guyana, where he set up a commune called Jonestown.
I've got some land over there with a black president. I'm sending my people there little by little.
Jim had this plan to go to Guyana.
It was the only English-speaking country in South America.
The land was cheap.
It had a socialist lean to it.
In 1978, Congressman Leo Ryan traveled to Guyana to investigate whether or not Jonestown was holding individuals captive, but he was killed while trying to return home. Not long after this attack, Jones ordered his followers at gunpoint to drink poison, resulting in the deaths of 909 people.
It's unfathomable. I don't think there's been anything like that since.
Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.